I like how that's how we start every intro. Just
All right.
okay. We're trying to figure out where we're going.
Yeah, it always.
We'll keep this one short because the episode itself is about an hour and a half, which is longer than normal. Do we have anything important to bring up? When is this airing? Sunday? Okay. Germantown will be over. Yeah, I don't know. We got our, what's the word? Calendar shoot still.
Yeah.
October 26th at the Southgate House Revival. Check out more information on that on our site under the events section. Let's see. We're doing Doctor Strangelove the first Monday in October at the Esquire Theater in Cincinnati.
All right.
Just found out about that, and it's fucking very soon.
That is very
so
soon.
You know, I don't know, maybe respond. I sent the email like a month ago. Other than that, what do we got? Recommendations.
Oh,
We're sticking with those.
okay.
I like those.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna recommend an album. Do you have an album?
No, I have a book.
Okay, what's your book?
It's Fear and Loathing in America, the letters of Hunter Thompson. It's
I think I've read parts of that.
Well, The Proud Highway came out when I was in high school, and that was a big book for me when I left home at 15 for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stole that from the Talent Library. And Proud Highway's been in my collection for a while, so I figured this was I think this is the second collection of his personal letters.
Yeah.
So it covers 68 up to 80 something.
Interesting time.
Yeah, it is interesting.
That's his peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it covers all that. It covers his run for sheriff in Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun.
I'm going to recommend a video on YouTube.
All right.
It's Glenn Fry and someone else.
Okay.
I should really know. But it's at a Hunter Thompson sheriff rally. Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's Glenn Fry and Jimmy Buffett at a Hunter Thompson sheriff rally. Or that's entirely wrong. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
I also want to recommend the book on that topic.
Yes.
Which is The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe.
Yes.
That's a great book.
Tom Wolfe's awesome.
Tom Wolfe is great. He also wrote
letters
stuff and
There's letters
Bonfire
to
of the
Tom
Vanities.
Wolfe.
Yeah.
In this book.
An interesting thing, I think, is reading. Here's 3 books: Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, Hell's Angels, and Slouching Towards Bethlehem, which is Joan Didion.
Yeah.
Those 3 together will, if you don't touch another book about that time period in America, those, especially in California, those will basically sum it up. There's also a point in Electric Kool-Aid and Hell's Angels where they cross over.
They do cross over.
At a party.
Yeah, it's pretty grisly.
And that's very interesting because Hunter's in the Hells Angels side and Tom Wolfe is in the Merry Pranksters side of the party.
Well, and Tom Wolfe used Hunter's recordings for that as well.
Yeah.
He talks about that in their letters a lot.
It's
interesting.
Those are all great books.
Yeah.
Let's see, a record. Revolution Blues, Neil Young. Shelved for a long time because the label thought it was a bummer. It kind of is.
On the Beach?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, On the Beach, not Revolution Blues.
I was like,
Revolution Blues is on the Beach.
Yes. And On the Beach is kind of a bummer. It's a great record.
Side A isn't so much of a bummer. Side B is kind of. I think there's 3 songs on that record that end in blues.
Yeah.
So that's,
there's at least 2.
Yeah, there's Ambulance Blues, Revolution Blues, and
Vampire Blues.
Yeah, Vampire Blues.
It's a blues record.
But Revolution Blues is basically Neil Young writing a song from the point of view of Charles Manson.
Yeah.
So check that out. And the band plays on it.
And the funkiest bass line.
Yeah, because Rick Danko.
Yeah.
And fucking Levon Helms on drums.
It's insane.
It's a great record. They were very high on Honey Slides while making it.
Very high on Honey Slides.
Look that up. Let's see. What else do we have? A movie? What's a good movie? I don't watch any movies.
Oh, that's right. You don't.
I've never seen a movie in my life. If you ever ask me to recommend a movie, I go, uh-oh. I've never seen one.
It's let me look up my list of hundreds and hundreds of favorite movies.
It's not that long. It's over 100.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hundreds.
Let's see. What do I think is a good movie to recommend? I don't have a good spooky one.
I'll go with Where the Buffalo Roam.
Hunter Thompson,
because
Bill
that's
Murray,
Bill Murray is Hunter Thompson.
Peter Boyle's
Peter
the
Boyle
yeah,
is yeah,
he's the lawyer.
Acosta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
that character from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was sort of a hybrid of his lawyer. At one point, the Acosta, the Mexican, the Samoan,
Mm-hmm.
as he gets called, lawyer, and Ralph Steadman
Oh,
is sort
interesting.
of the composite character of his attorney in the books.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna recommend two movies. One kind of spooky, big movie,
Yeah.
David Fincher's Zodiac. It plays into that time period as well
Also, very
in San Francisco. If you haven't seen Zodiac, you definitely should. It's probably the best serial killer movie that I've ever seen, in terms of like a real serial killer.
Yeah.
Not in terms of a fake serial killer. There's
I
a
was
lot
going to
of,
say there's
yeah.
Seven, who's also by David Fincher, and you should also watch.
But in terms of like a true crime movie,
Right.
Zodiac is probably the best one I've ever seen.
All right.
And you'll leave it going, Arthur Lee Allen definitely did that shit. The other movie I'm going to recommend is Deep Cover with Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum.
Huh.
And it's not a comedy.
Is this still when Lawrence was Larry Fishburne? I bet it is.
It's 92.
That's still a Larry.
Okay. And it's Jeff
pretty
Goldblum
sure.
before playing the Jeff Goldblum character.
Right. So this was him when he was still like
an actor.
being a God. I guess he was older then. He wasn't still attacking Charles Bronson's wife. And
No, this was 20 years later.
Yeah, that's 20 years later. There's a little bit different.
But basically, Lawrence Fishburne goes deep cover in the LA like drug world.
Okay.
And loses himself a bit. And Jeff Goldblum's a dealer, and it's a very good movie.
Really?
I would highly recommend it. It was one of those where I was like, sure, I'll fucking watch this.
Okay.
And the whole time I was like, this is great.
So what are the stats? Who directed that again?
Bill Duke.
Bill Duke.
Who also did Sister Act 2.
Oh, I remember that one.
And he also did, I'm looking at this list, The Killing Floor. I guess that's one I've heard of.
Okay. Not familiar.
With Dennis Farina is in The Killing Floor, of course.
I love Dennis Farina.
He did Rage in Harlem.
Okay.
He did Sister Act 2 and Deep Cover is really what I'm getting at.
All right, gotcha.
But it's a great movie. And I would recommend it.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. This episode is about the music industry.
Yes, it is.
Pretty heavily.
I mean, I don't think you have to be a music industry wonk to appreciate it. But
no, if you listen to music, you'll like it.
Yeah.
But we talked to Dan Smalley about a lot of things. But he's a musician who lives in Nashville. When he first moved to town, originally signed with Big Machine Records, and that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to get a point of view on someone that was on Big Machine.
Right. From the well, not from his get-go, but from
the get-go
pretty early on. Yeah.
Because he was part of that Big Machine.
So he learned what that machine is like.
Yeah. And, we talk about...
Spoiler, he's not thrilled with it.
Yeah. We talk about where money goes.
Yeah, not to artists, turns out.
How record deals are set up generally, especially when you're starting out.
Exploitatively.
Yep. How streaming money is separated. I didn't realize, I don't know. It was an insane concept for me to be like, wait, the money gets pooled and then sent out to labels. It doesn't just go directly to the fucking artist. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Very little ends up going to the artist.
Yeah. Which isn't really a surprise.
No, which I knew. I just didn't know it was as bad until I saw his sort of like
it's pretty
in-depth expose.
It's pretty not good. But if you look up his Instagram, which is Dan Smalley Music, it's also tagged in the show description.
Yeah.
He has many posts that go into depth about the music industry. It is going to be text over like a black background.
Yeah, read them. They're interesting.
And it breaks down numbers and how all this shit works. Again, spoiler, it's complicated and not generally good for artists.
Yeah.
And we also talk about where the music industry may or may not be headed.
Yeah. Real deep on prognostication of the future of the music industry.
And I think that's a good intro.
Yeah.
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 We like it.
I'd reach over and click the button now.
Hit skip. If I can stop talking. How many people do you think skip this? Like I skip every Marin intro.
I don't know. We keep them pretty short.
Do we? The last one was like 15 minutes.
I mean, that's anything under 10, 15 minutes of self-indulgence is all right in my book.
Sure. Here's the episode.
Yeah, I meant you reach over and hit the button.
I'm your black cat baby, your bad luck creeping around the bend.
We talk to a lot of musicians, and we always get to the point of like, hey, how do you make money? And they go, I don't know. And I got stuck down a rabbit hole one day reading your Instagram. It seems like this guy might have a good concept on what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I guess I have a little bit of a concept. I've been doing it a little while. My wife.
It was very in depth.
Yeah, my wife was the director of recording at the Musicians Union for a couple years, and she moved over to SAG after.
Okay.
And you were I don't know if you're still on it, but you were at least originally on Big Machine Records, right?
Yeah, that was my first record deal. My second one was with Broken Bow, and I haven't entertained a record deal since I got out of Broken Bow.
Why not?
I just don't think I need one.
You know,
Okay.
I don't have
a lot of people do need one.
to require a team of people to do all my work for me.
You have a team of people that work for you?
No, I said I don't have a big enough following to require that much.
Okay. Why? How did you originally end up on Big Machine?
Yeah, man, I moved to town. It was real fast, and got a publishing deal with Keith Stegall, and there was a woman there working A&R that kind of managed me into all the record labels in town and stuff, and I was probably passed on every record label in town the first year I was here, and then I played this showcase in town at the basement, and this woman that was a big fan of mine from Big Machine that I'd already met. There was two people though in A&R that you kind of had to make it through a Big Machine, and the one at the top was really not interested at all. And I was okay with that, honestly, because I really didn't like her that much either.
Okay.
And but then this other girl was really into like what I was doing. She was at that showcase, and she sent a video of me playing a song to Scott Borchetta. And then she texted me and she was like, "Hey, Scott wants to meet you on Friday. Are you available?" And I was like, I mean, I guess. And so I went in there and he offered me a record deal. And then I'm pretty sure I had a record deal, another deal kind of on the table offer from Big Loud. And at the time I was kind of like not told, but just like I had people around me that I trusted to like give me good advice.
Okay.
But I was told not even to entertain the Big Loud deal and just go with Big Machine. I was like, "Oh, cool. All right, cool." And so I signed with those guys, and sorry guys.
Sorry.
So I signed with Big Machine, and it was cool. And I got I didn't have a manager when I signed with Big Machine, so I was like, man, who's the best? You know? Who's the dude? So I met a bunch of those guys, and I ended up going with a guy named Gary Borman, who represented like Dwight Yoakam and the Stones, which was real cool. He represents Keith Urban still today, but launched his career, launched like Faith Hill. And so like I just felt like I jived with what he had worked in the business historically. Felt like he was a guy that was supporting the guy that was trying to do the other thing.
Seems like.
And so I got him as a manager. And then, man, that deal went real weird, real quickly after I got him as a manager. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it's just like one of those things where, I don't know, I had a rap sheet from my hometown in Louisiana that I told him about, that I was like an open book about.
Yeah.
And then after like inking the deal, it was like, hey, this is bad. We need to fix it. Like, what?
Seems an odd thing to be a problem for a deal like that.
You know what I mean? It felt like, all right, now they got me. And I was just like,
what deal initially?
This type of situation, to be honest with you.
What deal did you sign initially with them?
It was just a standard record deal, I believe, at the time. It probably had some kind of 360 element to it, I'm sure. It was one that I looked at and was like, I don't know, is this a good deal? My attorney was like, oh, it's kind of just a standard record deal. And I was like, well, I mean, if that's all I got and this is the next step I need to take, like, all right, let's do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was excited, you know what I mean? It felt like progress. And then a year and a half, 2 years of my life goes by and I'm still just have a record deal. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, why am I fucking sitting around at this place still, like, waiting on them to give me attention? Like, I have zero desire to, like, I don't know, jump up and down and get people's attention. I'm not that guy that's going to, like, go see you every day and bring your fucking donuts and shit. So it's just one of those things where, like, there's a game that they require you to play that I obviously was not very good at. And I finally sat around long enough to where they were like, okay, let's put this EP out. We like this picture that you hate. And we like these 4 songs that you kind of like, and we're going to do this. And I was like, cool. And all that happened like March of 2020. So it was like perfect time for nothing to happen. And all of it felt very like wrong. I don't know. It was just one of those things where if I had not been in the headspace I'd been already as a person, I probably would have let it get to me. But at that point in my life, I've been shot. I've been to rehab a couple times. Like, I've been to jail a few times. I've done a lot of work on myself, and so I just took it as a universal loss and moved on. You know what I mean? It was just like, hey, this is going to be what it is. I can still get out there and play live music. And then COVID happened, and I was like, well, I guess the universe is really shitting on us. Surely I wasn't the only person going through that, though. You know, there was the other side of being able to look at that and just be like, hey, listen, this is just going to be shitty for everybody that had expectations of doing anything like this year. So, yeah, I was just in a good space with all that. And luckily, I had a big enough manager to get me out of that record deal, because I'd probably still fucking be there getting sat on. But he got me. It was one phone call. He's like, hey, I found a way out of this deal. You want to take it? And I was like, yep. He's like, next question. Do you want to play a showcase for John Loba over at Broken Bow? And I was like, sure, let's do it. And so that happened in a couple months. And by December, I think I'd signed the deal with Broken Bow and was had recorded a record with my band that I produced with a guy named Jared Conrad. And it was supposed to be like a audition for a producer, like a real producer. And I'd kind of been telling these people, hey, I went to school for production. I've been playing music a long time. My band's pretty good. Like, probably save you a little money if you just let me do it. Yeah. So they gave us like $2,000 for 2 days in a studio. And the roughs, they were like, we got to finish it. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm glad you feel the same way. It was pretty good, isn't it? And then we got to the record label part of it, and they introduced me to the label, and I had a meeting. They played Adderall Head, and the fucking head of radio stood up and yelled, like, fucking country music. And I was like, hell yeah, I like this guy. And then a month later, there was a marketing meeting without me, and they come back and they want to just turn the record into an EP with the 4 most radio-friendly songs on it, and probably scrap the rest of it and move on. And I was like, man, no, that's probably not what I'm gonna do. So they didn't like that too much, and we parted ways. My manager was the first one. I kind of felt him leaning off the train anyways after I made this record that had songs like Adderall Head and The State of Country Music on it, and I kind of felt him leaning the other way. So I honestly gave him the fucking door, and he jumped. And then the record label was like, "We love you, Dan," but he was kind of our guy. And I was like, I get it. Funny thing is, I got all this shit without y'all, without him, the first fucking time. So, no, but once you get a big shot manager like that, you kind of just become part of their machine.
Okay.
It wasn't my machine, and that sucked. Being a part of that sucked. So the label was like, "We want to give you your record back. We'll obviously be attached to it monetarily until you're recouped." And I was like, cool. And then come to find out there's that record and the project that they told me to work with another producer that they didn't like. That session's also on my fucking balance. So, which was probably 5 times what my session was.
Right.
For not even half of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of it, I'm looking at this record that I kind of own. And it's like, well, I'm not going to make any money off this shit unless something goes like absolutely viral. And I'm never the guy that has those expectations. So it was just one of those things. It was like, well, just get it out, and this will be promotion for the next one that you will own, and still won't make any fucking money off of streaming. But I mean, who knows what will happen? You know, at least give you a start to build a fan base, and it worked. It definitely worked. But yeah, I'll probably never see money off of that record, which is insane.
And like a record deal and then go into a studio. I think a lot of people don't realize that they don't pay for the fucking studio, right? Like
all that stuff is coming out of your recoupable balance.
So what's the purpose of doing that when you could just pay for a studio on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, live sessions like that, they make them so fucking expensive. I think I've broken down the cost of just a session per song from studio to master, and I think we're at like $2,500 a song. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you got 10 songs, that's $25,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Pretty much.
And streaming doesn't pay anything.
No, man. Streaming would pay that back in. Well, here, let's just do the fucking math real quick.
Because I don't really have a good concept of how much Spotify pays, but I know it's minuscule.
I understand a little better after your toothpicks and songs post.
It would take 11 11,764,705 streams to make that back.
Man.
And
that's if you own 100% of it. That's like not cutting anybody else in.
And so you probably, if you have a record deal, don't own 100% of it.
No, man. If you get 16%, you're lucky. 16 to 18% of the masters is the usual, or it has been the going rate. Unless you're somebody like Jelly Roll that can walk in and be like, "I want a distro deal. You can take 20% of my master, but I'm keeping 80%." Or we can go 50-50 until you're recouped for however much you're about to give me, and then we slide to 80-20 or 90-10 or whatever. And then there's like sunset clauses where they're not even attached after a decade, or however many years that is. But you got to have pool. You know, you got to already have the machine.
Yeah.
So who does the money go to that leaves you with 16%?
One more time.
Where does the money go and it just leaves you with 16%. Where does the other, what is it, 70, 80, 84%? Where does the other 84% go?
Yeah, the label retains that. There's no telling where that goes.
So that goes to the label, and then you have to pay the label back as well out of your 16%?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Man, that doesn't sound like a good deal.
No, it's not a good deal. That's why the second one, with Broken Bow, I almost didn't sign it because I was like, I had this big shop manager now, and I was like, hey, man, this is the same deal I signed with Big Machine. This is not a good deal. This is like, I was like, to the point where like, I don't want to sign it. And the end of that conversation was basically, hey, do this or I'm out because I don't know any other game.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I was like,
shit.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sit here and blow up my whole fucking career over this one decision not to sign this record deal, but I guess I'll trust you. And
do they also take a percent of touring income as well then?
Yeah, most of those 360 deals take a percent of everything from merchandise to touring to your publishing.
What does a 360 deal mean?
They usually don't touch your writer's share.
Okay.
But everything else that they can generate income off, that you're generating income on, they've got their hands in. They want a percentage of it.
And are they taking more than 50 on touring and merch as well?
No, I don't think so. It's, I think it just depends on how that deal is set up too, because you can probably set it up to where you're splitting the costs 50-50, and the revenue probably. It's just, there's different ways to structure deals. So I would say there's not like one set deal for everybody. What I saw was very like, hey, you just moved to town. This is what you can get. And you're lucky to get this.
And then, like, in theory, your next deal would be more beneficial to you than the
Yeah,
previous.
in theory, you're successful and they can move you up and everybody starts making more money. Yeah.
Yeah, so
they're already making all the money.
And unless they're willing to invest that extra nut that it costs to like break you in front of millions of people and get through the noise, which these days, I don't know, I feel like they probably invested $250,000 into people like Ella Langley and Zach Top's social media. Easy. They were everywhere.
That aspect.
So it's like there's a large number that needs to be invested in an artist, and they have to see that kind of shit taken off already before they just go ahead and pour the gas on them.
Right.
And most of the time they're waiting for you to create that momentum. And then everybody in the club has to check off on that shit. In my opinion, that's the way it works. It's like, there's a group of these motherfuckers controlling this shit, and every single one of them got to check off the box. Be like, yeah, they're good enough. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll let them through.
Jeez.
It's exactly what it feels like to me. Unless you check off all the boxes, then you're just another one that didn't make it through the cracks.
And they're like, when they're looking at a new artist, like they're looking for marketability, I imagine, but in like a bunch of different ways. So like you got to have like a look and a sound, and I imagine also already have fucking followers on social media, and like they want all that. Like they're not willing to build an artist from like 100 followers up. They want you to come in with that group already.
Man, I can't speak for everyone in the industry. I do feel like there are still those people out there working in the industry and looking for those people that nobody's ever heard of, that don't have the followers and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's listening to them.
Right.
I do feel like the industry we're in now is only almost exclusively looking at your social following.
Yeah.
So
I think that applies for like everyone in every industry right now.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. I don't even think like talent matters.
No.
I don't think they care about the song. I don't think they care what it is, as long as that has the numbers behind it to, I don't know, make sense on their investment, like to make their investment make sense.
Well, like
And
we know,
these days it feels like they're looking for like an immediate return. So the higher the social count, the more immediate the return, it feels like.
We know the dude that books the Brooklyn Bowl down in Nashville.
Yeah.
Right? Rick Poss. And he was.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Is his birthday?
I think so.
Oh, that's nice.
I gotta
Oh,
go
wow.
check.
Okay.
But he was talking about how in the past like 3-4 years he'll have these acts come into the Brooklyn Bowl who have never played a live show before. Really, it might be like their fourth or fifth,
Right.
and they have no fucking concept of how to do it, and 90% of it is video on the screen behind them.
Yeah.
But they have 1 million followers on TikTok, so they can fill the Brooklyn Bowl.
Which is crazy.
And then you have like other artists, like Charlie Crockett's a good example, obviously, where he actually does have a good live show, and it took fucking forever. And now suddenly everyone's like, oh, he is very good. But the first time I saw him, it was 200 people in 2019. And then 5 years later, he was selling out the Greek Theater. But that seems like
that trajectory is probably pretty comfortable, and makes a lot more sense in the the headspace of like a musician who's been doing it for. I started playing saxophone in 3rd grade, so like my whole life. It's like you don't ever like start something like really good at it. You have to. I don't know. I think you have to do most of what we do in life to get really, really good at it. A very long time.
You gotta suck at it first.
Yeah, you got to be bad. You have to embarrass yourself. You have to be there, and if you never experience that, then it's hard not for it to not be just like glaringly obvious on stage. Like when you look at somebody who doesn't know what they're doing on stage, it's so obvious. Like, and everybody can see it. Even the people that don't know what it is, they just know that guy doesn't know what he's doing. And so, I mean, yeah, I feel for those guys that took off on TikTok and had to do that in front of thousands of people, man. Luckily, I did it in like dive bars and honky tonks across Louisiana and Texas, and it was a lot less painful. And we didn't have social media back in the day either to like highlight all the shitty parts. And I don't know, you can go viral for the wrong reasons these days too.
Nashville is a town that has a lot of people going to it, right, to play music. And there seems to be, like, I've spent a lot of time in Nashville, and there's two, like, distinct different Nashvilles in terms of, like, the music scene, right? There's the ones that are looking for the big machines, like, showcases, and then there's the ones that are playing, like, Skinny Dennis or the fucking Basement or just anything that's not one of those showcases on Broadway. And it's entirely different what they're aiming for, it seems like.
Yeah, there is I feel like you nailed it. There's a definite aim at what you want in this town. And unless you want everything, then you don't fit in with some of this crowd. And meaning, like, if you're just a guy that loves to play music and you want to do it for a living, you can do that, but you don't fit in the other clubs.
Okay.
So yeah, go beat it on Broadway. Have fun. Good luck. But if you want to be the next George Strait, if you want to be the next big thing, then that's what they're looking for always. In my opinion, that's what they're looking for always, is the next person that can make them a lot of money.
Right.
And where does that come from? Where do they go to find those people?
Man, I don't know. You don't have to go far these days. I think social media takes care of a lot of it. A lot of these kids can just put themselves out there.
Yeah.
I think it's cooler when it's in like a live setting and it's not just them in their bedroom with a fucking camera and a microphone and you can make it all perfect. Like, that's cool too, but show me you with like a 3 or 4 piece band having a good time somewhere, just like jamming, and show me that you can do it in that setting, or even on a stage in front of people. What a concept. But I think it's everywhere, man. I think that aspect of the industry is still here. People everywhere are looking for the new next best thing. The problem with, in my opinion, where the industry sits right now is now you are required to have numbers that back up your talent. And sometimes if your numbers far outweigh your talent, it doesn't even matter how talented you are. Doesn't matter. If you're great or fucking horrible, it doesn't matter. Like, you could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and if you don't have the social media numbers, it doesn't matter. You could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and everybody knows, and you do have the social media numbers, and it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Like, then you can do whatever the fuck you want to, basically. You don't need the record labels. You don't need the machine. You can create your own machine once you get there. I think the biggest mistake artists or people who are creating this following for themselves are doing now is now falling into the trap of thinking that they are required a major label to now navigate through the industry. You do not need that leg in the industry if you have the following. The fans are the most important part. So as soon as you can develop that.
And does knowing how it work? Does knowing how it work help you out? Like, are you able to circumvent some of this stuff, knowing what you know now?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I kind of had a hunch the way it all worked. I got here and just wanted to be, a team player. And let's go and do this. I also wanted to be a part of my revenue, though. And I wanted to, see deals that didn't involve, gross percentages. It was like, man, why am I paying for everything? And y'all are making more money than I am most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't make sense. Well, that's the way it's always been. It's like, I get that, but
that doesn't answer why.
Yeah, you're not answering my questions. So I didn't honestly fit in from the top, from the get-go. I just existed for a few years in this realm of I don't know, where people think they need to be, and honestly just observed a lot of it, y'all. Just almost as an out, was just getting opinions, just observing how everybody interacted and how they treated people and how, I don't know, just the different pecking orders and when certain people are in the room, everybody knows, and it's people you've never even heard of, but everybody in the industry knows them. And so it's understanding all that is actually true. Makes it easier for me to not want to be a part of it for sure. And just this still, you know what I mean? I did it for a decade before I moved here, you know what I mean? So it was just I didn't have music out or anything, but I was still playing music pretty much full time and when I wanted to. And so it was just one of those things what is it like? Let's see. What is this music industry thing that they and by the end of it I was like, this is a shell game.
Yeah.
This is a hey, we'll give you as much money as we can talk you down to work with us for X amount of years, and hopefully you're successful in that amount of time, and if you're not, then we'll move on to the next guy, but you won't have to pay back this balance that you're now that we're now recouping off of anything that you've created and are putting out.
Right.
But the bad news is it might take 10, 20 years for you to recoup that balance. So you might not ever see any revenue from the intellectual property that you created. And it's oh, well, that's not fun. That's not what I'm interested in. Why would I? That's the game.
Do they have a right to your follow-up releases that are not under their contract to recoup the initial balance?
Only if it's something that you did with them.
Okay, so they own that, but if you put out another record that's unrelated from them entirely, they can't come after that money.
No, well, not all.
Hey man, I don't know. It's a pretty fucking scummy business.
It's a scummy business.
I don't know.
That's where I'm at. My next record, I'll own 100% of it, and we'll be able to collect revenue from that. Now, it'll still be pennies, from if Spotify's still a thing. I hope Spotify folds up like a fucking lawn chair.
Well, where what other options are there for musicians now aside from Spotify and Apple Music?
Like a Patreon?
Well, that's the thing. If you have the fans, it doesn't matter where you go.
Okay.
The thing is, in my opinion, a large population of the people are still going to want the cheapest option available when it comes to consuming music. Probably.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to go away. I do feel like we should have the ability to remove it from Spotify if we want to. The problem is if you're with a major label, you can't touch that shit. They're contractually bound, I'm pretty sure, most of them, for probably years at this point. So like that EP I put out, Big Machine, that's going to live there forever, and I can't do shit about it.
Okay.
And it's going to be under your profile, under your name, regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my shit. That's my music. I'd have to create an alter ego or a band, which don't think I thought about that shit.
It's I mean, if you have like a big base, you know, like we just talked to a guy who's putting music out on Patreon, right? But also he has 270 something thousand followers on Instagram.
Yeah, that helps.
There's enough that will help.
Yeah.
You know, but like my buddy's band just put out an album, and the bass player left the band because they didn't want it to be on Spotify, and the rest of the band was like, "Hey, that's dumb. We have 500 followers.
Right.
People need to hear this. No one's gonna care if we pull our shit from Spotify. That's just gonna hurt us." So, if you're a small band, I don't feel like you have a choice.
Right. It's just an industry standard. You kind of have to play along with it, right?
Yes. Yeah, and my main point to anybody that is putting music out on Spotify is just not expect it.
Yeah.
Just understand that there's going to be free music for people out there. This is the new Napster.
Yeah.
Except they're making money in Napster. Like,
right.
Yeah. Fist, my man. They're making so much money. Not only them, but the labels are making so much fucking money. Like $1 billion a month, probably.
And
but collectively, that's the gross, I believe, is $1 billion a month.
I remember Aerosmith posted I think it was Aerosmith, but one of the bands like that posted something where they got like $1,000 check one month from Spotify. And it's like, you're fucking Aerosmith. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
You know?
That's that Snoop Dogg video, the one with, I forget what it was, but it's like millions and millions of stream. He got like a $4,000 check and he wrote BMI. I was like, hey, I think y'all made a mistake. You're missing a zero on this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's
like 8 riders on it.
Yeah, well, then that's the thing too. Like I was just driving, like last week, I was driving through Music Row, and they had all the signs up for like the songs that had been recorded in all the studios, right? And it'd be like, you know, Hunter Hayes, written by, and then it was a fucking paragraph.
Right.
You know, it was like
by committee.
I feel like those songs don't need a paragraph long of writers to fucking write them. They're not that complicated.
Agreed.
But yeah. But like each of those dudes has a cut, right? So every writer on that list gets a cut. And then the label gets a cut, the producers get paid. So the artists on it are like the bottom of the food chain, even if it's someone like Hunter Hayes or Ernest or Morgan Wallen.
Yep.
And then, so those guys are probably making all their money on merch.
Yes.
Is that it? Merch?
Yeah, you can make a lot of money off merchandise. That's the thing, though. We're all merchandising ourselves. So you're creating a brand. The end game is to be able to sell yourself in any form. So the merchandise is obviously always the most important part. And if you can, I feel like a guy that really nailed that before he even took off as like an arena act was Billy Strings. Billy Strings merchandise was flying off the shelves before he was even like really that guy.
I was familiar with his T-shirts before I ever heard him at all.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
He really played off of the Grateful Dead thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like
he did. Yeah. Nailed. And it was perfect timing. It was just, I don't know. To me, he innovated the game like with that. And, but I mean, people have been doing that forever. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it really helped with his rise.
Well, there's two interesting things I know about him in general. One is that he'll book bigger venues and longer dates in a city than he has to, so that tickets can't get scalped.
Oh, right.
Which is very interesting. So if they can sell 20,000 for 2 nights, he'll book a 25,000 venue for 3 nights. So there's always going to be fucking tickets, and no one's going to get fucked.
Wow.
The other thing is him and the way that the Dead did it, which helped a lot for their whole deal. I mean, they just played the fucking Sphere, and I was there. It was incredible, but it's 60 years later. That he's not going after people that are ripping his ideas to sell shit in the parking lot.
He's just letting them.
Yeah, that helps you.
Yeah,
that lets more people know about it.
Yeah.
And all the people that are selling Billy String stuff are also Dead people who were doing Dead and Company tours and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
like their own little economy, and you'll just feed off that shit, man.
Like
you build.
If you got fucking 4,000 people that will follow you on tour, you're selling 4,000 tickets a night before you even deal with that city.
Yeah, man. Some of these guys. I was out with my buddy Randall King. He was on a Luke Bryan tour, and I want to say they were pulling in like $12 a head in merchandise.
Wow!
And those are a lot of people in those.
Yeah.
$30,000 seat amphitheaters, and
Yeah, because I mean, concert tees I've noticed as well. Like 10 years ago was $25, and now they're $40 to $65.
Well, everything's expensive if you look at it that way, for sure. And that's the reason ticket prices have gone up too, is because there's no money in music anymore. So now they have to really charge for tickets. Which is the other side of the game is live music, man. If you can get out there and really put on a great show and pull people to your live show. That gives you more opportunities to sell merchandise. And I think that's where the economy is right now, is live music and merchandise, man. I think the recorded music, aside from selling vinyls and physical CDs or whatever the hell you can wrap it in, that revenue stream is just, I don't know. Unless you're one of the dudes, unless you're Morgan Wallen or Taylor Swift. And there's more people out there making a living, obviously doing it. But it's not like it used to be. You talk to songwriters today and they're all like, man, back in the 90s, we could make a living off album cuts. And I've had a lot of cuts, album cuts for sure. And I'm damn sure not making a living off my fucking royalties from streaming. Negative, not even close, man.
Oh, a lot of people that we've talked to, and I've noticed it as well, it seems like attendance, and this might not apply for Nashville because that's the whole reason people visit the city is to go see music. Yeah. That's the part, that's why there's tourists. But it seems like attendance in general has dropped off since COVID. It has not come back up to the peak that it was at. And a lot of people don't know how to get it back. I don't
think the economy come back since COVID, to be honest with you. We were roaring at the end of 2019. If you can remember back, it was I don't know, it just felt like the economy as a whole was in a really, really good place. That enables people to spend more, go out more, buy concert tickets. It's just not cheap these days. You're spending $1,000 if you got a family. That's not even for good seats. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I just spent $100 to go see Rilo Kiley at the Pinnacle in Nashville.
Who?
It's Jenny Lewis's previous band.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Yeah, they were at the Pinnacle, which is one of those new style venues.
Yeah.
Which is super clean and air conditioned and way too fucking expensive. And a bottle of water is $7. That pissed me off. And you can't there's no other option either. It's not like there's cups, But after concert tickets and fucking taking a lift and buying 3 waters, right? You're I spent $150 on that.
Easy.
And that's not even a crazy fucking expensive band.
No, man.
You know, like,
Man,
there's
I got 2 kids and a wife. Man, we go to Top Golf these days. It's gonna cost $250, bro. Top Golf?
going
I
to
can go
see
play
like,
around. I can go sign us all up to play around for that much money. Like, what are we doing here? The pizza's not even that good.
I think there's like another thing that happened with COVID too, where people stopped going places, right? And
Yeah.
they started watching stuff on their phones and shit. And then it was like, hey, you can go back to places, and there's a percentage of people
like,
who just fucking didn't.
Nah.
Yeah. Like, why? Fuck people.
Like, and that's not good for live music, I imagine. But
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm also curious about Nashville itself, right? Because like I really like Nashville, but in the way of like Austin, Texas, a lot of people that have been there for a while complain about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a good city and I have fun there, but also I see like the box fucking houses going up everywhere.
Yeah.
And like the Riverwalk bullshit that doesn't have any energy to it. What's going on with Nashville right now in terms of development and live music and artists being able to move there and make any amount of money to pay rent?
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
It is.
I love this city, man. It's the reason I packed my wife and kids up from Louisiana in 2017 and moved here. I think it's a beautiful place to raise family. There's so much opportunity and so many things going on all the time. The competitiveness was always just like so much higher than the South from Louisiana, where I'm from. Everybody's just kind of laid back and everything goes at a much slower pace. And really, when you get out of the cities, most places are much slower. I enjoyed the fast pace, kind of like, hey, keep up or don't mentality. And I think if you're a hard worker and somebody who's just keeps that positive attitude, this is the perfect place to be. It can definitely beat on your soul and your spirit as an artist, in my opinion. I've seen so many people, so many friends come through and just get fucking absolutely ground up by the machine.
Yeah.
To the point where they just don't want to play music anymore, or they just like just move, but go back home. It's like, man, or men have mental breakdowns. You know what I mean? People invest a lot of their self and who they are and how they're perceived. And the problem with Nashville is there's so many people really, really talented, really, really good at what they do. And the industry's pretty fucking picky.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's talent. Mostly in my opinion, these days, a lot of it is social media following. I think if you're looking to move here and play music, come on. There's so many places to play. It is obviously competitive now with everybody moving in. The pay has not gone up. So as far as like actually making money, I know guys that pull triples downtown 2 or 3 times a week, along with daily gigs and doubles, and you can make some good money, man. You can make some really good money downtown. It's a grind. I have one regular house gig when I'm in town at Losers from Thursdays through Sundays from 10 to 2 p.m. or from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it's in Midtown, so it's not downtown. So we have like parking. We avoid any of the covers that you're going to hear in downtown. We only play country music. The band is very good, and it's always a great time. And there's a barrier wall in between us and the people, so we don't have to worry about crazy people. So it's a good gig. Other than that, I would have a hard time beating it on Broadway.
Yeah.
You know, it's on Broadway one time. like ever. And I went, okay, I went to Robert's Western World, and I was like, this is all right, but I don't want to.
There's some cool places down there, man. I played Chiefs last night, and they have like a little theater on the 3rd floor, and it's very cool. Great room. It's almost like you're not even on Broadway. It's beautiful. But yeah, other than that, I avoid it like the plague. There's so many people, so much going on. I live in Green Hills, which is already too close and very busy. And I do my best to just kind of stay in my backyard and stay away from all the traffic and avoid like Hillsborough and avoid all the interstates at rush hour. We moved here from Louisiana to Murfreesboro, and Murfreesboro is either a 30-minute drive or an hour and 30-minute drive, depending on what time it is. And I got so sick of that drive that I found us a little duplex in Green Hills a year later that was well under market value and just jumped on it as quickly as I possibly could. And we've been here. Now we're kind of stuck since 2020 happened. It's like, well, we ain't going nowhere. So these kids are out of high school, at least.
Yeah, I mean,
and a 5th grader, so we got a long time.
I feel like there's a lot of similarities. So, like, my 2 favorite cities aside from Cincinnati are Nashville and LA.
Oh, yeah.
And there's, like, a lot of similarities between Nashville and LA. You know? Yeah. Like, where it's an industry town.
Especially these days.
Fucking moves there.
Yeah.
You know? And then so few people actually get into the industry that everyone's trying to fucking get into. But it supports everything else, you know? Also, there's a street in Nashville that I found the second to last time I was there for the first time that reminded me exactly of LA. It's like, you know where Starland Vintage is? You know Starland Vintage? You know where that is? Okay. There's a street like 2 blocks away that I accidentally found, and it had like a Buck Mason and like a Stag Provisions, and it was like fucking Los Angeles. People lined up for a coffee shop.
Was it around the area?
Around where?
The Gulch area?
No, it's south of there. It's not by Berry Hills, but over from Berry Hills.
12th South?
I think, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck? I'm like, this is Los Angeles. Like, this is the exact same thing. Like, I like it. It's nice. It's pleasant. But it's very weird to be in, like, a southern city and go, I'm in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah.
All these people are the fucking same.
Fun to walk. I avoid that area, too, pretty much.
It was fucking weird. I mean, but, like, also, LA has a really good country scene going on right now, it turns out, in the past 5 years.
Good for them. They need a good country scene.
Dude, it's fucking... We had an event out there. We booked, I think, 8 or 10 acts to play it. And all these people, like, knew each other, and they all fucking... We had the house band from Desert 5 in Hollywood.
Wow.
It was back to people. And, like, Desert 5 is fucking packed every night of the week.
Yeah, wow.
And it's LA. So there's a little bit of hope for country music, I think.
So where are y'all at? Cincinnati, did you say?
Yeah, we're like right over the river in Covington, Kentucky.
Okay, yeah, I grew up in like Dayton and Xenia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, I
went to rehab up there.
Yeah, man.
Do you know where the Southgate House is in Newport?
Do what?
Do you know where the Southgate House is in Newport?
No.
That's we talk about this venue all the fucking time.
It's a great place.
We do most of our events there, but it's like one of the last independently owned Americana venues in the country.
Oh, very cool.
So, like, and a lot of times, Tyler Childers got his start in their fucking, like, bar lounge room.
Wow.
Chris Stapleton was in through there. Last time I saw Charlie Crockett with under 500 people was there.
Wow.
But it's just one lady.
Yeah,
Everyone
Morella
goes through Morella. And there's no, like, when we put on a music festival there, her one rule was we're not using any ticketing aside from our ticketing that adds $250 to every ticket price.
Beautiful.
And I was like, yeah, good. I don't want to. But it's the only one in the whole general area now that still has you can still go to for $15.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's a great spot.
It's a great spot, but it sucks that like everywhere else, like you try and go see Billy Strings at the Icon Center, and it's fucking $80 for one ticket. I don't get it.
That's what
I blame
people-
Spotify for all of it, bro.
What's up?
I blame Spotify for all of it.
I also blame Ticketmaster and Live
Yeah,
Nation.
they got a little bit to do with it, but they wouldn't have the leeway if the artist and the labels were saying, "Hey, back off on ticket prices. Chill out."
Yeah.
Well, that's like Sturgill Simpson, right? I was gonna go see him in Nashville at Bridgestone, and I ended up not being able to go. So I posted a reel, and it was like fifth message, gets these tickets for free. I got 4,000 fucking messages. But I went to transfer them to the dude, and I couldn't fucking do it because Sturgill was like, no transferring, no selling, nothing. So I had to log into my fucking Ticketmaster account and then change the fucking password.
Nice.
Wow. Ain't let it in.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, well, you did win them. You know, I want you to go see it.
Yeah.
but, I mean, there are people.
Yeah, good for Sturgill.
You know, like, I couldn't do it. I remember there was one point Neil Young played, like, a bunch of college theaters because they weren't owned by Live Nation.
Right.
You know, so, like, people are doing stuff occasionally, but you have to be that size for anyone to care.
Yeah, it's hard to sell tickets these days, man, anywhere. So you got to really have that thing going on at the time. Like Isbell, I feel like in Sturgill, they're in that sweet spot, and probably Tyler Childers too, where they can book year round and sell 10,000 to 30,000 tickets in most places that they go.
Oh yeah, Tyler Childers sold out here 8 months in advance.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's a really sweet spot to be. And I feel like, I don't know, once you get any bigger than that, there's a lot of expense that comes with it. If you can still move in a bus and a trailer, maybe a truck, then you're doing that. To me is the sweet spot. That Luke Bryan tour had 9 buses, 11 tractor trailers.
Jesus.
That bill alone, just to have those fucking trucks on the road, y'all, I was doing the math in my head. I was like, God damn, this is a multi-million-dollar operation. Like, easy. Daily, multi-million-dollar. They're pumping so much money into this fucking machine for it to go.
And all the wrong people are getting that money.
I mean, I don't know about... That's the part where I understand the business was built the way it is for a reason. I do feel like there's a lot of people making a lot of extra money at this point that might not be doing as much of the work. And it's a connection thing than anything. Just the fact that they're connected is the reason that they are owed this money.
Do you think there's a way that like money, like commerce and art just shouldn't be as intertwined as they are? Like, can you still with all the greed heads in charge, can you still get a good product, an honest artist, and get it out there without playing some ridiculous game?
At that size, right?
Yeah. Or is it just there's too much involved in that?
I don't know. I think about that a lot, y'all. We've only been making money off of music for like real money, like 100 years since the recorded music first came out, and like, so all of it's brand new.
It's a good way.
In the global, in the larger picture of it all, this is all brand new.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I feel like we got to the point, and even early 2000s, where music made the most money it's ever going to make. Recorded music, made the most money it's ever going to make. Is this the decline of that? Are we just in the middle of it? And you know what I mean? It just is what's going to happen, and we're just going to go back to you're busking in the streets again, and that's the only way you really make money playing music is unless there's somebody really rich that's paying for you to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Which was a thing long before recorded music. That was the music. The artists were always funded by, philanthropy. And so
Yeah.
we had guys like Mozart and shit that we could count on to be around. Other than that, there was a long lull in any kind of like entertainment or art. And then we had recorded music coming out, and all of a sudden guys like fucking Woody Guthrie and Jimmy Davis were the dudes. Like, these are the guys. You know what I mean? But like, that part of not being able to control like what the public gravitates to, I think has always been very cool. And something I've always kept in the back of my mind, like, I can't control whether or not people like my music or not. I can't fucking control that. Nobody can control that. So I don't really care as much as other people might care. But it's always been a publicly driven thing. If you know, art, music, all of it has always been very driven by the reaction from the public. And so whatever society looks like at the time is usually kind of what it sounds like, unfortunately.
I mean, that's, I think, why we're ending up with, like, every rapper has a clothing brand, right?
Yeah.
All the big ones have a fucking clothing brand, right?
Yeah.
It's like, shouldn't you make money doing Coachella? But no, Travis Scott needs to fucking partner with like Zoomies or Vans and fucking McDonald's and like all this shit, and those are the biggest names in that genre. But
and it becomes a brand at that point, and then you are a corporate machine.
Yeah. Each individual artist at a certain point becomes a different corporation, I think,
Yeah, man, when I signed up with my first manager, my only manager, one of the first conversations we had about like one of my first questions was like, hey, what do you think the future of the industry is? Right. And he was like, and this was 2019. He's like, I think it's artist driven. I think it's going to be completely artist driven. I don't think there'll be labels. I don't think there'll be any of that. I think there'll be an artist that has a certain amount of capital that's worth X amount of dollars and kind of running the machine themselves with a manager probably and a business manager, and agents will probably still be involved, But so my first question was like, why do I have a record deal?
And then when you tried to jump the fucking record deal, he was like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. Now you understand the frustration that I was dealing with. Because my whole game was like, well, let's build a fan base, and then we can approach labels with a little bit of leverage. Sure. And I can get a better deal. And I guess what he was trying to tell me is that I didn't need that leverage, that he was the leverage. But in the evolving economy of the industry between 2019 and 2022, his leverage was not enough anymore.
Right.
And I might have said that in a way I shouldn't have said it. You know what I mean? But it was just where we were. It was just one of those things. I was like, man, like, I need fans. I need to put out art. I need to put out music that these people can gravitate to. And if I'm attached to y'all, I would love if you would promote it and market it. And quit trying to give me X amount of dollars a month to live off of, and put it in a marketing budget and pump all the money into the music. That way I can create a fan base large enough to sustain my fucking lifestyle. Like, but quit giving me minimum wage a year to live off of, and then booking me these really big, cool shows with no music out, with nothing for these people to go fall back on and listen to. And like, it just, all of it to me was backwards and didn't make any sense at the time. You don't have a whole lot of say in it, though, when you're kind of in it. You just kind of do it.
Well, I think it's always very fucking weird whenever, there's someone like a Dwight Yoakam or a Willie Nelson, and then there's a person that plays with them, and you go, who the fuck is that person?
Yep, yeah. I was that guy a couple times.
You were that guy.
That's why I picked those two names.
Yeah, man, I was definitely that guy, and I thought the same exact thing y'all did. Like, when I got the dates, it was like, oh my God, are you serious? Why? Like, why would I be opening for Alison Krauss and Willie Nelson? And they was just like, just go do it and enjoy it. I was like, this is a dream come true, but None of these people are gonna know who I am. I have zero music out for them to go listen to when I leave. Like, why does this make sense?
Yeah, it would only make sense if you had put out a record.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd want to support that.
Yeah, I don't know,
like
man. That's the thing that gets me about a lot of different like corporations, and like I've dealt with a lot of managers and just various corporations where you have a conversation and one thing goes one way and you're like awesome, and then it doesn't fucking happen, or you just can't find the right door into the corporation. You get sent from one person to another person and none of them are the right person, and then fucking four people, like you said, have to check a box about some shit, and it's like, no, but this just makes sense to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can't just one of you see that? Like with my company, I check the box.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I'll ask opinions, but if there's something that makes sense to do, I go, yeah, okay, we'll do it. And it's much fucking easier.
Right.
Way easier.
As opposed to committee.
Yeah, as opposed to fucking, we have a board I have to go to and go, does it make sense to have a podcast?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the model. That's the corporate model. And so that's where the industry has been for at least the past 25 years, in my opinion. It's less good old boys, just, hey, let's make some money. And it's more corporate models. Hey, how do we make more money in year over year? Like, how do we continue to grow this thing? Not only this thing, but also this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. And we'll grow them all at the same time. And our overall pile is going to get just so much. I mean, it's just the corporate business model. It is what it is. Does it effectively give the public our best options when it comes to art?
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know. The same way that the burger from Brown's Diner down the street is a million times better than the 3 McDonald's that I have within the same distance of me. But nobody knows where Brown's Diner is, and everybody goes to McDonald's. So it's just... I've always been okay with being a Brown's Diner. Like, I've always been okay with that. And it's always been, like, my goal, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
As long as the diner can stay open.
Yeah, as long as...
Yeah, and you know what? That diner has fucking valued regular customers that keep coming back because they get quality service and food. And it's been around Nashville for gotta be close to 50 years at this point. Gotta be. And that's hard to do in this place, y'all. To stick it out through 2020, to stick it out through the buzz and the huge just economic bust that it's been going through, to make it means you're doing something right. And the fact that they're not bulldozing the Bluebird, but everywhere around it, it's right behind my house right here. Everywhere around it is now at least a fucking 8-story hotel or apartment complex. It's just like, it's wild to see. But the ones that are doing it, they're keeping them for now, and they're letting them stay.
And man, every time I'm in Nashville, I go to the Nashville Jam Company, which is just
Nashville Jam is delicious, dude. Right there in Berry Hill.
Shit.
Yeah, and that place made it through some hard times too, man.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, right? Like, I've been going to Nashville.
I bet it's going on a decade, maybe a little less. I feel like it popped up around, because my first publisher was right there, a street over from Nashville Jam. And I want to say it was something else maybe before it was the Nashville Jam, unless they just changed names. But yeah, it's a good spot.
That place is the shit. But what do you have coming up that you want people to know about?
Oh man, I'm putting out a single. It's a cover of a Danish artist named Kim Larsen. The song's called "This Is My Life," and it's a song a friend of mine, Kenzie Rose, played years ago when I first started going to Denmark, and I fell in love with it and started playing it. And it's just kind of my gift back to the Danish people for kind of showing up to shows, man. I love it in Denmark, and Europe is really cool. In England, I love playing overseas a lot. I get
Totally meant
a
to
lot of
talk
love over there.
Yeah, me too.
we meant to talk about the European market versus the American market.
Yeah,
So just real quick,
that's a whole nother conversation, right?
real quick, can you sum up how you feel about Europe versus American markets in terms of live music?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years, I guess. So it's not as long as other people have been doing it. I haven't talked to a lot of people who spend a lot of time in Europe. The people who I do speak to all kind of say the same thing. And it almost feels like what's the best word? It's like a disconnect
Okay.
from, it's almost, I don't want to say two different societies. They're still just people.
Sure.
But for some reason, they are a bit more committed to what's going on in the moment.
That's what we hear.
Yeah, we talked.
Moment, like if they're there to have a party and see a good show, they're going to give you everything they got. And when you get that as an artist, that is all that we're looking for, is somebody else to have a fucking good time with. And I've never had so much fun as I had. There's a few places in the United States where that has happened. Green Hall being one of them. But it's a small enough spot, you know what I mean? You get enough people in there, and it's just like you have no choice but to have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a disconnect in America for some reason with that emotion. With that emotion of just like
that.
I don't know what it is, y'all. It just feels like there's something missing with the way people feel about what's going on in the moment.
People are more present overseas, what you're saying?
It really feels like it most of the time. And they're just really, like I said, dedicated is the best word I've found to the moment. Like making it a good moment.
Yeah.
I mean, the last show that I was at, all the people, I was like, me and my wife were two of the youngest people there, and like I'm about to turn 30, right? So most of the people were in their 30s or 40s because this band was popular in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And at one point, the band was like, "Hey, there's like no phones out. That's great. I just want to bring that up." They were like, "There's like basically no videos of us because when we used to be around, it was all flip phones." And they're like, "It feels the same right now, and a lot of times it doesn't anymore." And they're like, "We really appreciate that."
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I don't know. It's interesting. But what else do you have going on that you want people to know about?
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna record another record. I'm spending some more time in Europe next year. Yeah, festivals and spring tours and all the stuff. I try to keep up on my website. I'm a one-man wrecking crew, and I'm really bad at it. With all of it, and the social media and all of it. But I do try and keep up, so all of the information usually pops up at least a week before it's about to happen.
That's good.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I'll still be doing this. That's it.
Where can people find you in Nashville again?
Every Thursday and Sunday, Thursday through Sunday at Losers from 10 to 2. Sundays are 9 to 1. And sometimes I'm playing rounds around town. Sometimes I play the local. I get asked to come sit in every once in a while. Anytime people call, if I'm available, I'm usually like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Cool. Other than that, I really don't look for a whole lot of places to play around this town. It's saturated. There's so much to do.
Place people can find you like 4 nights of the week.
Right.
So that's good enough.
Come there.
The losers.
That's good. I appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah.
Man, anytime, y'all. I appreciate you having the wherewithal to talk about it. I don't think enough people are talking about it.
I figured it would probably be a good idea because a lot of our audience, obviously the podcast is a lot of musicians, and a lot of our audience is interested in it. And I feel like there's no good source of information for audience to figure out how their favorite artist is getting by or what any of part of the industry looks like.
And you're providing a really good service in that regard.
So it's helpful, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, the toothpick spiel is one of the best I've found to like kind of illustrate where we're at.
Yeah. It stuck with me. I read that earlier today, and I was like, did you know, Sam, did you know?
But it's like if you average it out, and that's just if you own a bigger percentage of the song as a songwriter, like each stream is about like selling one toothpick, and it's just that's so disheartening as a artist. It's like, man, you mean I have to sell 1 million fucking what?
Yeah.
To make
not a lot.
You have to sell like 50 million things to pay
and
off
this
your
thing is it's not even being sold. And so where is the money coming from? Why is that number dictated by this? If all of my subscribers, the only reason they have Spotify is to listen to me. Okay, so you're telling me that 70% of their subscription first goes to the top, how much? 20% of the people who create revenue? Okay, then so the next 30% is split up between who? Okay, yeah, the labels and the writers and the publishers and everybody else. Well, that makes a lot of fucking sense. And it's like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all, guys. And
I think we are going to end up with a very artist-driven future in music. Because I mean, it's like 30 Tigers is a label, but they're not a label. You know, like
I feel like 30 Tigers is a pretty artist-friendly environment, from what I've heard. They first a distributor though, and I believe those are a lot of the deals still. If you can end up with a really good distribution deal from a company that wants to help promote and market your product, that's one of the best deals you can find.
I believe that 30
that's
Tigers
still worth it, in my opinion. They're still worth it. But other than that, I would not move to town and sign one of these record deals that just gives them a percent of your entire life of everything that you have. If you can get a good one, good for you. Do it. You probably have a million followers on one of the platforms, at least 1 million. Which that might even be a low number these days, to be honest with you. You don't have at least 1 million. Like they're not even. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it almost feels like that. But yeah, if you walk in with something like that, then you could probably talk yourself into a really good deal. Those good luck.
Everyone's got to figure it out.
Good luck to everyone.
But
that
yeah,
thing that you can count on in this industry is what you just said. You're gonna have to figure it out. Ain't nobody gonna hold your hand and show you and tell you that you have money hidden over here, you have money hidden over here, you have money hidden over here and over here, the MLC, the Sound Exchange, BMI, all the pros. You got to go find it. They will give it to you when you find it. It might take you years to find it, but you're going to have to go get it. They're not going to come fucking find you and give it to you. The unions are the same way. Everybody's the same way. That's me like just spilling the fucking bean. Yeah. You figure it out. You have to go find it. And the more information like that is readily available to new artists who don't know this information and don't have the money to get a music degree at Belmont, the more people are less likely to get fucked over, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And have their entire dreams and livelihood shattered because they don't know how to get around that after it happens. You know what I mean? not enough people have been shot and had to go through some real life instances before they got into the music industry to just take all that and deal with it kind of as peacefully as I did. The fact that me and my wife and kids are still here in Green Hills, just peacefully existing, to me should say a lot about who I am. But it's not for the faint of heart, y'all. You got to really, really want it, and you're still gonna have to work your ass off. And then even if you ever get to the level that you think you're trying to get to, it is even harder work. Shit doesn't get.
I've always found that, like, my dad asked me to like rate on a scale of 1 to 5 how happy I am with my company recently, right? And I was like 3, and he was like, but 2 years ago that would have been a 5.
Right.
And I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, but now it's a 3 because I'm here.
Right.
So once you keep following down the path, like, you're like, oh, I got to where I never fucking thought I would. And then you go, it's not good enough, man. And there's still other complications that come into play,
I think if you can enjoy that lifestyle, you'll fit in just fine in the music industry, man. If you can enjoy just the wins and then the lifetime of losses and then win and then oh my God, it is a roller coaster ride of awesome things happening and absolutely nothing happening. And I don't know, I kind of dig it. Wow. Kind of works with my my circadian rhythm or whatever. I have spells in life where I don't want to do shit. But sit on my back porch and write songs. So I'll schedule 3 to 5 writes a week and stay home and not do anything. And then there's other times I got to get out of here. So I get to go overseas for 3 weeks and go do that, or out of town for a week or 2 and write some songs with my other friends. And
well, you got a pretty work ethic.
Yeah, you got to make that work happen. Like, nobody's just handing it to me. I do kind of have to get out and do that. You're right. It's a grind, man, regardless. I've had 9 to 5 jobs at a desk. I've had jobs in the field. I've done, I was a carpenter when my kids started coming around and I needed to make more money.
That shit's too.
All that's hard work too, but man, I'm just satisfied as a human when I feel like I'm doing what I was put down here to do. It's creating a response from other humans. You know what I mean? So as long as I'm doing that, as long as I can do that, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
This had a happy.
Yeah, I think you gotta have that thing. Like, you gotta love it that much. And if you don't fucking waste your time, because it's not worth it.
I think that's good advice. Yeah. Sage counsel.
Good luck to whoever's trying to do anything.
Yeah.
You could have the same conversation about any other industry, y'all.
I think so.
I do.
Especially the entertainment industry, man. It's like 1 in a million, man. Chances of you being that guy that you look up to, that you want to be, is pretty slim. Just be realistic about it and try to get better and try to pay attention to what is moving people. And when you start really making connections, then you'll know. You get it.
Man, covered some really depressing movies here, but also made it really uplifting at the end there. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you,
man. I don't think it's all bad. I just think we're in a period of time where we're figuring some shit out.
Yeah.
And seeing a lot of people leave major label deals these days and going independent is like a huge indicator, should be a huge indicator as to kind of where everybody sees the landscape of it all going.
Yeah.
So I think it'll get better, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going to happen in the streaming world. I think a user-centric model would make more sense for streaming if people's money was going to the artists that they were actually streaming and not just into a big giant pool and then X amount taken off the top. I feel like that would be more rewarding to not only the listener, but also the artist. There are those platforms that are starting to come out too. They're 501c nonprofit they're taking user costs at like 20%, and the rest of it's going to the artist. And it has a completely transparent breakdown of where your money's coming from. And
That'd be cool. More
yeah,
of.
it's about to happen. And
I'd be happy with that.
I think every artist would be happy with this. I'm pretty positive every artist would be happy with this. Every label would be absolutely petrified of this.
Yeah.
The next 10 years. Because at this point, they probably have contracts on the music that last decades.
Oh, I'm sure you're right.
I don't know. I could be wrong. So they still have the control of these catalogs and where they go and where they can be consumed. It would take a mass exodus of some of the largest artists from these labels to independently go record new music and get it out on this new platform, and or buy back the rights to their music, and take it off a spot, or take it out of the hands of the people who are, in my opinion, strip mining
Right.
the music industry. So
yeah,
wish it luck. I think something like that's about to happen.
I'm for it.
We might be a decade away of from it being, real life. But I do know there are good people fighting to make a change. There are good people that are going to Washington to make a change. NSAI are doing good things. There's a lot of progress that they talk about being made. What just passed in not the big bill that Trump passed, the one that where musicians can now write off like up to $150,000 in recording costs, which is cool because if you can record your own records, then you can own your own records and you can write off your recording costs each year instead of stretching it out over decades, that's a big win.
Well, that's a start
for independent artists. That is a big start. What if the other just something else just happened, and I'm not going to talk out of my ass because I don't know the details, but I did see another big win that NSAI just posted about. Anyway, go look it up. It's a good one too. So like I said, I think we're just in the middle of history.
Yeah,
We always are.
I'd say so.
Hey, you know what I mean? But it's just, I think 10 years we'll look back and be like, damn, who was that fucking Spotify guy? He was worse than the Napster guy. Like, that Napster dude probably wasn't making any money off of all the free music. This guy made billions.
Yeah.
Like, billions off of other people's intellectual property. The worst part about the whole thing is AI. And that's a whole other conversation. But people need to know that companies like Spotify, and I would imagine, I can't say definitively, I'm pretty positive, are creating AI artists and music and catalogs of this AI music and diluting.
No, they are. It's a for sure thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about that till you wrote something about it.
No, that definitely. Yeah. There was one that came out in the past month that was an AI artist that didn't exist anywhere.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But I got like so bad, and I don't want to cut you off, but I got to take a piss so bad, dude.
Dude, go piss, bro. Go piss.
But this has been a good conversation, and I want to say an appropriate goodbye before just pissing myself. Every time we record, at some point I go, "Oh Jesus, I got to piss." But I appreciate this very much. I'm gonna thank you for doing this. I got one more thing to tell you when this is over.
Okay.
Hang on.